Hello YouTube, Reddit Math here, and welcome back to the Red Estate. Got a little bit of prepping to do this time, or maybe a lot of bit of prepping to do this time. So we've got several characters that are very stressed out. I'm thinking pop her into the penance hall. Vane here can do a little praying to a higher, or maybe in his case lower power. And then we get Port, that dirty dog. We'll get him into the brothel. And Lovett, who will only drink. So we'll get him into the bar for a nice cold one. Something tells me there's probably not a lot of refrigeration going on in our estate here. Alright. We've also got Villain. She could use quite a bit as well. Now, she will only pray. Oh, did I use up my only... Nope, go back. I use up my only slot for praying. I believe I did. Could I maybe get another? Let's see if I can
hope,
get...
however desperate, is never without worth.
Another slot opened up for her. Alright, and then everybody else is looking pretty good on the stress front. Let's pop into the sanitarium here and see about maybe doing a little bit of negative quirk removal, like Mandeville, creeping cough, and blight resistance. I'm going to go ahead and remove her blight resist down first, just because the damage isn't really super important for her. And then the only thing really to worry about there. Anybody have anything like awful? No. Let's get maybe Savigny, and we'll get rid of his obsession with sainthood. Okay. That leaves us with 6,700 gold, which is still plenty. And then if we pop in here, we have some decisions to make. I'm thinking we're going to take on a boss. And we're probably going to make that decision based upon trinkets. That's not bad. Although I don't really ever use the occultist stun. I believe he needs to be in the front to do it. I do really like that talisman for the grave robber though. Trap and scouting chance. So it really increases her like non-combat usability, makes her a lot more useful as just having in the party, which is one of the big things I enjoy about the Grave Robber now. With a plus 30% trap disarm, should be at like 90, which is pretty amazing. Destroy the Brigand 8-pounder. Well, let us see what we can't do about this. Alright, so we're going to do a level 2 party, as we're taking on a level 1 boss. I don't have a healer that's not, you know, losing his mind right now. So we can instead go with this, the Damned Company. Awesome. I could totally see that being just my style. With 6,000 gold, we should have plenty of resources. I do, of course, have a Vestal, but at level 0, she would be a giant liability down here. So we will instead just kind of extra stock up on food. We'll go ahead and go with that. We can camp right before 2 shovels, and let's go ahead and go with 10 torches. 8 sometimes not quite enough. Just largely, I think, due to enemies that decrease light, which there may not be very many of in this area, but we'll have to wait and see. Additionally, like 2 holy water. I can always use those as a buff right before the final fight if I don't end up using them anyway. And yeah, I'm pretty okay with that. Let's maybe do 1 more of each of those, especially maybe 2 more of each of those. Since we're not bringing a dedicated healer, our Plague Doctor can battlefield medicine However, you know what? I just realized that I should probably take a look at these guys' camping skills. Okay, she has 4. She has 4 skills assigned. He has 4. He has 4 skills assigned. Houston only has 3. Dismas only has 3. Okay. Kind of glad we checked this out. So, you're stressed by all. Okay. With a slight chance of an increase. Okay. Uncatchable, scouting chance, not really going to need that. De-stress, encourage. Gallows humor isn't terrible. He doesn't have... Clean guns is primarily the camping skill that I'm most concerned about him being able to use. Let's see if there's anything he would need to get. A huge heal. But also a stress increase. I think a reflection due to the accuracy increase. Yeah. Alright, let's go ahead and grab that for him. We'll leave Dismas without a 4th camping skill. I don't think it would see any use anyway. And we might be just pushing it on being able to have enough supplies if we did. So, let's get that party cooking again. And grab all these supplies one more time. We already know what we want, so this should go pretty fast. And we'll get that up to 10. Then that should be good. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do this.
Simple folk are by their nature loquacious, and the denizens of the hamlet were no exception. It was not long before rumors of my morbid genius and secretive excavations began to fuel local legend. In the face of my increasingly egregious flaunting of public taboos, awe turned to ire, and demonstrations were held in the town square.
Interesting. I'm kind of interested to hear more about the source of the cannon, honestly. Ugh. This is not great. Largely because the boss is going to be here. We basically just need to clear the entire dungeon with almost no decision making to be made along the way. That is going to be a little bit frustrating. Oh yeah, we could, let's see. Let's go ahead and pick this up. That needs a bandage. No, that needs a anti-venom? Yeah.
Wealth beyond measure, awarded to the brave and the foolhardy alike.
It's unfortunate to have wasted that bandage there, but you live, you learn, you run into a trap. Ugh. Oh man, 6 damage? Are you freaking kidding me with that? Well then, let's get rid of all of our anti-venom right off the bat. That sounds like a terrific decision to be making. Alright, get our light back up to 95. Hopefully, we can just have a nice, peaceful stroll to this little cannon. This is medicinal herbs? Medicinal herbs. Oh, sweet. We got a nice batch of food there. Again, going to be useful as sort of supplemental healing items.
To the spreading corruption, malformed with misintent.
Alright, we got an ectoplasm, not the worst thing in the world. I could do 3 to 7, or we could try for the kill with a 5 to 10. Didn't quite get it done. Not too terrible, though. Let's go ahead and just end him right here. And then if this chop can connect... delicious.
This expedition at least promises success.
Alright. That awesome feeling when you're walking in to a level 1 dungeon with a level 2 party. Alright. Again, let's actually do the Grape Shot Blast this time. Get everything in a very killable range. And then, accuracy is 85, accuracy is 90. That would pretty easily get the kill.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Lovely. And then he could Noxious Blast. should guarantee a kill here. Just like so.
Victory.
Crit for a
Perhaps
lot
a turning
of
point.
blight damage. Ooh. If only that had worked. Amazing how much different this fight could have gone had that one attack connected. It would be over right now. We would have won. It would be time to move on. But no. Alright. Let's go ahead and grape shot again. You know, so that we can miss. That was my plan there.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
At least some guys can still pull through in a pinch. Husin, what are you doing with the swing and a misses? Not like you're married to somebody, but misses like you can't seem to hit something to save your life. 9's not bad. We are doing at least 8 more with that, and if we stack a little bit more blight on here, now doing 8 per round, and then that takes care of it. Very, very awesome. I now no longer have something that does no damage for him, but I can still tracking shot for the buff. Barely poked him.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
Alright. The reason, of course, for the attack that does nothing is so that you can just sort of buff everybody passing turns along. You know, maybe get off an extra battlefield medicine or something like that.
Paid for in blood.
Let's go ahead and have a little snacky snacks here. Regain a tad bit of health, get everybody back up to full while we're at it. And then let's just get moving on. Alright. And torchlight is, of course, I swear, guys, all we packed were egg rolls. Like, that's the only thing that makes sense, is that if we feed everyone, they will then immediately get hungry again. Yes, we're finding things to kill, Fitton. That's kind of the reason we're here. Alright. It just blows my mind. Like, we can walk along through this place encountering absolutely nothing for the longest time. And then as soon as we eat, our party is immediately like, you know, all that really did was just sort of whet my appetite. What I could really use is even more of it. And then we end up eating again. It never fails. Actually, who is our trap guy? It is Dismas. Okay. We'll get Dismas for interacting with most of this stuff then. Torchlight's a little bit low. We'll get back up to 99. That'll do. And then we have some mummified remains, which I do believe is bandages. I remembered something. The bandages didn't even pay for themselves. Lovely. Kind of makes you question how worth it that stuff is, right?
The promise of safety.
Oh. Your promise was not fulfilled.
Dazed, reeling, about to break.
It was instead met with a bunch of rabid gnashers who are all gonna go first. Half of them will crit, will inflict stress everywhere, bleed on everybody. You know, it'll be a lot of fun. That's totally what was on the brochure. I can do a self-heal, I can do a protection, damage, accuracy, crit, lose dodge, lose protection. I say we revenge. I need the accuracy against these guys. Their dodge of 18 is way too high. Accuracy base 80. 80. Open vein is probably my best shot here. Sweet. Stuff like that. That's what I need. That is totally what I need. Accuracy 95. Does 3 to 6. Consistent damage is okay though. The move doesn't really matter. 80, 85. I'm just looking basically at what has the best chance to hit, because that is what I'd like to throw at them, so that I don't end up in a scenario where they're just dodging everything I've got. Because I've been there. I have totally had a pack of rabid gnashers just pretend like I wasn't even trying and basically dodge everything I threw at them, and that gets real old real fast. I'm going to go ahead and battlefield medicine here. That double stack of bleed I think was worth removing. Get an 85 hit chance on collect bounty. Okay, did get the hit. Not the most damage in the world though. And finally, can start chopping these guys up. Alright, sweet. With the accuracy buff there, not bad at all. Okay. That could have gone a lot worse. Maybe could have gone a little bit better, but it could have gone a lot worse. Go ahead and chomp down on a couple of food each again. Doing well on food. A map of the area was found. It revealed absolutely nothing. Okay. This would be a bandage. I don't have a bandage, so I'm just gonna move on. Okay. We got some maggots. It's okay. Let's see if we could get a bleed on those guys. Nice. If we could then throw like a noxious blast into the next one.
The greater the glory.
That'll do 3 to 6. Let's try this one out.
Executed with impunity.
Awesome. Okay. Maybe not. It had a chance to get the kill there, but I wasn't really counting on it. What I was really hoping for was that. A little bit of blight to get the job done.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Alright, I'm hearing you. Overconfidence, slow and insidious. We're on the same page, man. Again, I don't have the thing to interact with that. I'm going to go ahead and avoid it. And we've got some fungal guys here. Okay. Hook and slice can apply bleed back here. Okay, good, good. 3 for 3. And the blight, 4 for 3. Nice. Thinking maybe one more round of that on both of those guys. Like if we hit bleed on the back one and then another stack of blight, those guys will be down in like 2 more turns. Okay. In the meantime, let's go ahead, open vein on the front line, and then chop. And he whiffs it. Okay. What I really need is for everybody to focus. I do not like Dismas's health getting quite so low.
Perched at the very precipice of oblivion.
Yeah, that was the so low I was talking about. Okay, he's taking enough to die. He's taking 2. I can't afford it. I've got to go with the battlefield heal just to get him off death's door. It's too dangerous otherwise. And again, exactly the same as last time. We'll swing and miss, although stacking that bleed will take him out. Alright, so let's go ahead and toss a hook into their back ranks here. We will get the bleed on it. That'll do 7 living, 1 HP. Vampiric spirits. Okie dokie. I will want to check that work out in just a moment. And we got lots of guys dropping dead from the damage over time. You know, speaking of damage over time, I was checking out the Kickstarter page for Darkest Dungeon like earlier today, just kind of reading back over like all the things that were promised. I was kind of trying to look for like maybe things that have been talked about that had yet to be implemented into the game to see whether or not, you know, we might anticipate there will be implemented into the game. And one of the things that was talked about standard RPG elements like damage over time and healing over time. Now, we haven't seen any healing over time. I'm curious if that's...
Trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Hey you, no trifling victory speeches here. I'm wondering if healing over time is something that like ended up on the development room cutting floor, or if it is something yet to be implemented.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
One of the only ways I could really see it would be maybe on a trinket. Have to have some pretty serious drawbacks, but I think that could be kind of cool. Like if you regained 1 HP per turn, but then maybe some, like, I'm actually glad for that hunger. It allowed Dismas to be forced to eat. Maybe some dodge and death blow go way down would be like a nice compensation for a healing over time ability. I think that could be really interesting, where like you would get yourself back off of death's door with the self-healing kind of automatically, but anytime you were there, you know, like maybe like negative 100% death blow resist. Like, I think that would be a very interesting balance for it, so that if you were on death's door, basically if you got hit twice that turn, something to put you on death's door, and then anybody else attacked you, that would be it. But if you could get off of death's door, then you would be fine. That could be, I think, like a really interesting mechanic. These guys are taking 4 each. I won't kill her unless I do something about it. So let's do something about it. I'd like to go ahead and take her turn away. These guys, I was about to say, are largely just going to be inflicting damage and are not as big of a concern. However, the cytokinesis is kind of a pain, considering we refilled their roster there for us. Let's go ahead and stack some more Blight back here. Man, the changes to Blight have made the Plague Doctor just ridiculous. We do have a Blight trinket on her with the plus 30% Blight chance, so I mean, that's helping, certainly. Jeez. Come on, Poussin. You maybe take a look at if we have any accuracy-based trinkets. I would not mind getting those on him. Cool, cool. I think, though, like one of the negatives is most of the...
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Okay. Most of the accuracy-based trinkets, I think, are also... it's already unlocked. Okay. I think are like accuracy up, damage down is the thing you expect to see, which kind of turns the leper into the crusader at that point. Like, he does less damage, but he's more accurate. He's got some different abilities, of course, but they both have kind of a... Like, the leper has a self-heal.
A devastating blow.
Oh, lovely. Whereas the crusader has, like, a very small heal, but he can use it on the other party members. That it was just fantastic. Alright, thank you guys for absolutely kicking the crap out of some random slimes. Alright, go ahead and grab the pack.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
Shiny, shiny sapphires. Well, our pack is fine on supplies, I will have you know. Anything I want to do before I go in here? I think we should be fine. If there's a fight, which there is, it won't be the worst thing in the world. Go ahead and we'll focus the bleed up front. Of course, it will miss immediately. Oh man, Poussin, you gotta work with me here, man. We gotta start connecting with these attacks. I really think, I guess the strategy just should be you revenge at the start of every single combat. He's gonna take 4 each. You know what? Let's do this, because I think that'll prevent him from being able. That'll mean that harmless poke and rush shot are going to be coming out. Of course, the absolute worst target for us shot there.
Unwound.
Oh, come on, guys. No time for coming unwound. We've got to wound ourselves. We'll do the battlefield medicine, though. That'll get him 2 HP off of Death's Door. Very nice. And then 8. Does nobody want to hit today? Is today a no-hitting day?
Death
wow.
waits for the
Okay, I wasn't
lapse
actually
in
talking
concentration.
to the Brigand Cutthroat when I mentioned hitting. Man, 58%. I've got to do it. I've got to get the accuracy up. It's killing me, man. Just killing me. I get some knock on Death's Door.
Test. Hold fast or expire.
So you're taking 4. You're going to be out of this. Okay. Now, one of the interesting things, you can't just do what I'm doing. You can't just heal for 1. Like, oh, I'm on Death's Door. Everything will be fine. You're getting tons of stress like every time a character is put on Death's Door, and over time, that stress alone is enough to get him killed. I really do feel like that's why they added in like the heart attack mechanic that comes off of hitting 200 stress. You manage to make it to 200 stress, you just die, which prevents any sort of exploitative building of a party with like maybe you could reach 100% death blow resist, for example. And
if only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
And if you hit that, then you would just be impossible to kill. Things like that are sort of prevented by doing it. Okay, I love to see that there's not going to be a fight in the middle of that hallway. It means that we can
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
Is it that she... Huh. Curious. I feel like that's less food than we would normally need to consume. Maybe I'm just wrong. But oh well. Target disease. I think Perched spirits was a debuff. Bad humor is max HP. Heal skills while camping. The rabies. That's what's doing it. Oh man. Houston, I'm sorry. You have some terrible diseases that I didn't even know about. Okay. Let's see if leeches. No, they didn't do anything about a disease. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and wound care for the potential removal of the bleed, which it did not get. So we'll clean guns. She could maybe self-medicate. We really do need to get... You know what? Screw it. I'm very sorry, Dismas, but you're gonna go into this with some fairly low health. You're not gonna like it. Incense, what we got left? Reduce stress, reduce stress, reduce stress. I'll only reduce stress. Everybody else increase stress by 5. Ugh, can't really afford that. Let's just go ahead and encourage Dismas here. And with that, we'll get a little bit of rest and then get ready for the coming battle. And again, no sleep for us. Let's march to the victories.
The way is lit.
Are you not
the path is
sleeping
clear.
when we're done?
We require only the strength to follow it.
I would really think so. You know what? I can use that to get rid of his bleed. I don't think I'm going to need it for this one hallway here. Once we get to the end... Hold up. Yeah, I was gonna hold up. You didn't
As
need
the light gains
leap out
purchase,
there, man.
spirits
It's
are
okay.
lifted,
I
and
too was
purpose is
going to
made
grab
clear.
the torch. In fact, so we'll increase the light level and then We're not going to need those, but I guess we don't really need to throw them away just yet. And for everything else, let's go ahead and get a buff on him. Lightly disease, debuff resist. We'll do the same for him. Nothing else I really want to use before the fight. We'll go ahead and get Dismas a little bit of healing in there, so he's up to 11, 19, 24. Last of our food there, and then let's do it. Alright. They have a frickin' cannon. Okay. Cutthroat. 8-pounder. Matchman and Fusilier. Interesting. So it's only a one-spot boss. Like, it only takes up the second slot. Okay. Well then, can we... it has huge bleed and blight resist, though. That's kind of unfortunate. I guess we just grape shot across all of them. Okay, and that took out the matchman, so it's not going to shoot at us. As you may have already been able to figure out, I've never fought this particular boss before. I think we've already faced all of the boss fights that I ever have fought in the game prior to starting the LP. As mentioned before, I did want to keep things relatively blind so that we could go through quite a bit of this together. Versus stunned, but nobody's going to do any stunning here. Ugh, that's 70% protection. Oh man, I just saw that. Okay. So, we're probably not going to be able to get any damage over time on it. And we're also really not going to be able to do a ton of damage to it. We're going to do the buff mostly for
mortality clarified
the accuracy
in a
up.
single strike.
Yeah, that was kind of irritating. Reinforcements. I'm going to get him a matchman. A matchman in heaven. Yep. See if this pistol shot can't quite do it. But I bet you a plague grenade to the face certainly will. Yep. Okay. So I wonder, so maybe the Brigand 8-pounder only... Oh, nice. Sliding him up actually may be pretty cool. I'm wondering here if, let's go ahead and try to get rid of the Fusilier. 5. Okay. So I'm wondering if, it's going to be the matchman that actually, like, fires, and the 8-pounder itself just calls for reinforcements. Oh, it reinforces both. Not just the matchman, but also the cutthroat, probably the Fusilier as well. That wouldn't surprise me. That was pretty nice, though. I would take that. We can hook and slice for the back. 2 to 4, and get some bleed. 3 damage. So he's at 6 now. Oh, come on! You have, like, all of the accuracy ups. Really need her to ensure this guy doesn't take a turn. So I think if I just keep the matchman occupied here, that basically what's going to happen is every turn the 8-pounder will just call for reinforcements. Yep, basically like that. Now it is kind of shifting around in the lineup, which is interesting. Putting the Fusilier in the front slot is a tactic I had not expected. Of course, it's going to be able to resist. I need to get...
Well struck.
Yeah, that's enough. I was going to say I needed to get 3 damage, but 5 will definitely be enough. Alright, we got a rough shot from him. Actually, not terribly concerned about that. Do I even want to kill him in the front row? Like, he's so... Buff move, heal protection. I'm going to go ahead and just buff. And that takes care of him. I kind of want to see, like, if he'll just stay there for me. Oh, I got shoved back. Okay, so he will get something else to use. I'm I'm not doing as much damage as I'd like to be doing against the 8-pounder itself. But I'm staying relatively safe, I feel like, until this happens.
As life
So Dismas being at death's door means
vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
especially being at death's door with bleed. And he's got to get it. Okay, he did. Basically means I've got to heal him, which means I... Oh my god, man, you have... I guess some of his accuracy buffs have actually worn off. Okay. Call for reinforcements again. This is the turn that scares me.
How quickly the tide turns.
That was a good dodge. I like that dodge. Let's see what this does. Come hither. Wonder if he can light from up here, actually. Let's just go ahead and kill him so that we don't have to find out, effectively. I actually completely forgot he was at death's door. That was kind of dumb of me. I probably should have healed there. I could have potentially lost him. He can do self-heals, so it's not quite as dangerous.
A powerful blow.
Finally, he lands a hit. Alright, I need to get the Brigand 8-pounder back up a bit, though. Yep, like into that spot. That's the kind of spot I would like it to be in. We'll go ahead and hook and... No. Yeah, okay. I can hook and slice. If that gets the bleed, which it did, he'll go down to 2. A Grape Shot Blast should be able to do it. Oh my god, that did 2 damage? Ugh. That's real sad. Okay. Got him off death's door. He's been cured of the bleed. Grape Shot Blast. Oh. Grape Shot Blast. Grape Shot Blast. That's what I wanted. Man. 70% protection is no laughing matter. Okay, so we can't bring back all 3 of them in one turn. 4. Jesus, man. Okay. We'll just Grape Shot Blast again. Hey, that's actually fantastic. That is like no chance of inflicting anything on him. Let's do it here. And then 80 marked versus human. It's ironwork. 2 to 4. 2 to 4. I guess, I mean, we need to get damage on it. I can't just stay here playing a shell game with all of his reinforcements forever and ever. The bleed's kind of nasty. Okay, he brought back both of them. Let's go ahead and do this to get 2 damage on it. It's down to 19. Then toss that in the back. Do no damage to the actual cannon, but these 2 guys can focus down the matchman and ensure he doesn't get a chance to act. And then I guess it's just, we'll go ahead and do the heal, just so he doesn't start running into death's door repeatedly. That's actually probably the best thing I could have done there. Reinforcements. Okay. Can get a hook and slice back here. 4 is very nice. Bleed for 3. He'll have just enough to act, though, and I don't want to see that happening, so get rid of you. And we'll have to miss, and this is about to be a potentially bad thing.
A singular strike.
Okay, or not. Pistol shot. Lovely. Again, kind of another round of just treading water, though. Reinforcements. I would love to see you shift forward, and you did. Okay. It's 2 to 4. So 12. I was hoping to basically eliminate him with just one character having to attack him, so I could focus 3 on the 8-pounder. Didn't quite work out. That is a crucially helpful dodge, though. Alright, 2 to 4. That was 2. I was really hoping we'd be more on the 4 side of 2 to 4. 2 to 4. Did get 4. Down to 13. Okay. Man, like, everything is just 2 to 4 with this guy. Okay. That's kind of what I was hoping for out of Dismas the last time, was that we could just take down that character with 1 hit. And then... hero damage -1, huh? Shuffle, clear. I guess the only thing for him to really, or her to really do here is poison the Brigand. Missed. Down to 9. One, like, really good turn where I just focus on the 8-pounder. Does it, right? Like, that makes sense to me, at least. 4, 7. Might as well play grenade back there. And then he could Drape Shot Blast across all of them. Did 2 to that. 3. It's down to 4. This does 2 to 4. 3. Okay. In the bag. Absolutely in the bag. It's going to shift forward. We're totally going to be able to attack it. It has 1 hit point left. There's nothing it can do to stop us. Sweet. And Noxious Blast. How's that for your friggin' blight resistance now, huh? Alright. Now, what you're seeing here is something that many people have talked about exploiting, and I have seen talk of this boss before. Basically, we've seen this before with other characters as well. I believe the Necromancer boss basically did the same thing. For every one of those Brigands we were killing, we were still generating loot off of them. So we've ended up with a fairly decent stack of supplies here. I am just looking at the most kind of efficient spacing of all of this stuff. And I think we're going to get away with most of it. Protection minus crit. I actually kind of like that for Crusader. There's nothing else we absolutely don't need. So we have to decide. That's 250. 500. That's 500. 500. Trinkets. Okay. I'll trade that for a single portrait. And then I think everything else is basically more valuable. For those of you watching at home, feel free to be screaming something at your television / monitor / phone / tablet right now as I am missing something. But I think that's going to be my final decision, and we'll lock that in on who wants to be a Dungeoneer. Alright, and we'll go ahead and get back to the Hamlet. Oh, man. Look at that reward screen. Pretty decent haul. 98.5, 4,500. Decent heirlooms. I would like to see some more of some other things, but we got a lot of crests. Everything gives crests, but everything costs crests. Crests haven't typically been our bottleneck, though. Vipont and Fitton also reached level 3. Egomania. Man-Hater. That damage buff is nice. Replaced Fated. It's kind of unfortunate. Fated was the additional chance to hit on a miss. Unholy Slayer. Replace Quick Reflexes. Ooh, and the Red Plague. I do not like that at all. Alright. Let's go ahead and get back then. And still got quite a few of our opening boss fights to take care of, though. Nothing crazy here. We did get 2. I like that we can relieve multiple diseases now, that they've created the separate disease category for a lot of things that were just negative quirks before. They're a lot easier to relieve than the quirks were. Like, what I'm hoping for is sort of, and I think this is what we're getting. We're getting a system where the quirks are just that. They're quirks. Or the negative ones are like, hey, you gotta pray, you interact with curios in a weird way. But then the diseases are the things that are like, oh, by the way, you have negative 75% bleed resist and you're negative 30% max HP. You know, those are the bad ones, but they're easy to get rid of. And the quirks are just sort of like flavorful-ish, but not good flavorful. All right, guys. If we head into here, do we want any of these guys right now? Maybe not. I think what I'm gonna do. This episode very, very long. It was a very, very, very long dungeon, so I don't want to run this one on too long. What I'm probably gonna do is get a lot of this stuff sorted out, and when we come back next episode, I may not show it all on camera and may just give you guys an overview. You know, hey, I've leveled up these guys are de-stressing, etc., etc. That way we can get the show on the road for our next adventure. I hope you joined me for that one. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have and you want to see more, feel free to subscribe to see another video every single day. Leave a like or a comment if you have anything to say about this or any of my other episodes, and I will catch you guys next time.